And finally, folks, we're live. We're doing it again. It's episode 50 of Struggling with Sozio. It's kind of a milestone episode. A lot of people don't make it past 10. I just hit 50, and I'm really proud of that. We're going to get right into it, folks, because I don't want to keep you waiting. Today, I have one of the notoriously most hated big men on the East Coast. Uh, you know him as the stiff son of a bitch that nobody likes, but that makes me like him even more. Today, New York native and a man closely linked to the mysterious death of Jeffrey Epstein, TJ Marconi.
What's up? You can't giving out all the details like that, man. Now they know. Oh man.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's a pleasure seeing your face, man. It's been far too long.
Yeah, I know, man. Like that's probably been one of the best parts about doing this show is just reconnecting with people that I don't get to see anymore. And it's definitely been a solid 4 years since I've seen you anywhere, because that's about how long ago I stepped away from the business. But it doesn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for some reason, I guess maybe because of social media and like you kind of keep up on everybody's lives and things like that, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. But it certainly has.
No, it's
awesome
when you actually look back.
Yeah,
4 years. I can't believe it, man. But it's like we haven't left because, like, again, social media and random messages of hijinks to keep in touch.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's been a lot of times that we've had to message each other. Hey, you see this bullshit? Hey, you see what's going on with this bullshit? Yeah, because that's what we do. It's wrestling is high school. Wrestling is high school.
Once to anyone that's like new to the business, once you figure that out, you'll have a lot more fun in the business. It's high school with tights.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely can't take yourself too seriously. Definitely not when you're green. You have to just take your licks, man. But you know all about that. You know all about like beating the tar out of the young boys, right?
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
That's because of you. It's because
I know. Basically, I ruined it for everybody. That's what happened, guys. I'm sorry. Broke the internet, and then
they had to call the commission. What and just so anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, how many years ago was this? Where was it? What was the incident? I saw the clip of you cannon foddering the shit out of these kids.
All right, so
tell me what happened and why it was such a big deal. And I mean, it was a work, it was a work.
For the uninformed, I'm going to speak in like wrestler terms. If you don't even know, I think just I had to do what was called a heel turn. A heel turn is when a guy who is like the big baby face becomes bad guy, right? So the storyline that was pitched was they're going to, as you said, cannon fodder, job guys, squash guys to fill the ring, and I was snapping and beating them up. Now, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. No one really gets hurt. Sometimes, of course, but no one really gets hurt. I told all the kids, listen, protect yourselves. I'm gonna protect you. Everything's gonna be stug, but safe. Everyone told me they knew what they didn't how to take the moves. Boom, came in. First kid got punched. Second kid got slapped. Third kid was like a little spine buster. The last kid was a move made famous by Ron Simmons, the Dominator, right?
Right.
As I'm grabbing the kid goes, I don't know how to front bump. I'm like, oh man! But I have no time to like either call an audible because the kid is basically just not a front bump. Like, okay, that's like the second or third thing you learn,
He tells you that before he's up in the air, or what? Like,
no,
right
I don't know. Like someone actually put the clip up in slow motion, like the kid that recorded it, because I told him what happened. When I grab him, he tells me, and you see my face go, shit. So I had no time. I'm in the middle of like a major heel turn. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna whip this kid down. He hits his knees, fuck him. At least he won't break his neck. And that's what I did.
Hey, yeah, I remember he landed like shins and feet first. He was
better than his neck.
Feet. Yeah,
better than his neck.
I remember because like you grabbed him really high on his like chest and abdomen. Yeah. Like you had his, and you don't get me wrong, you whipped him.
I whipped it.
Down.
As I said, I'm not gonna paralyze this kid, but his knees are gonna hurt. That's what I had in my mind. It's like, yo, do I paralyze this kid, or do I just make his legs hurt for a little bit?
We can fix his knees. We can fix that. Yeah.
And I thought everything was fine. The kid's in the back. He's so happy. He's like, "Oh my god, that was great." I go, "Bro, you got to tell someone." I gave him the whole brother. When before you go out there, you got to tell them what you're doing, and everything was hunky dory. And then all of a sudden, I wake up the next day, and boom! The boys turned on me. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Just we could curse. I don't know. I assume.
Yeah, no, it's my show, dude. Yeah.
I woke up. I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" Burn my boots, retire, you're unsafe. I'm like, yo, I made wrestling real. I'm running with it. I'm running with it.
Yeah.
And then but the amount of WrestleMania was in New York that year. I had promoters say, "Well, we can't use you no more because XYZ doesn't want to work on the same show with you." I'm like, so I hit up XYZ. I'm like, bro, it was work. Oh, you didn't look that way. I'm like, how long you been wrestling, dude? You know me personally?
Yeah.
I'm probably the nicest dude in the locker room, like too nice. Like that's probably why I'm not where bro. But I ran with it, man. I ran with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like 3 years removed. So some people still won't work with me, but again, I'm still rocking and rolling. That kid is fine. Not even a scrape. I called him Jumping Jeff Farmer. I don't remember his name.
Because somebody commented here. I think you can see it on your screen there. LOL, fucking moron, Greg. So I don't know if that's the person that you slammed. Hey, maybe it was. Hey, rest in peace, Greg. Because the reality is he actually didn't live through that incident. We're just saying he did.
I actually killed him. That's the reason why I got blackballed.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say it's funny too that so many people don't so many people in the business now are still marks, and you can work them because there's so many promoters that are marks. They believed what was going around on the internet about you, and they're like, no, I can't work with him. He's too stiff, and it's like, you fucking marks.
The one company that capitalized on it was when JAP restarted back up because it was ran by people who know what they're doing. Like, okay, we have a guy who legit has heat now. Now he's going to do it to a girl. I was indifferent about it. You know how I am about intergender matches. But Max swayed me. Listen, trust me, you'll be the top heel now. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this because you remember I hated the intergender stuff. But I made it make sense. She cost me the match. I did it nice and easy because I wanted to be okay. Now you've seen when someone knows what they're doing, how it's done properly. I'm going to do it that way. It worked a little bit, but then JAP really didn't run that much. Funding wrestling sucks in the Northeast as it is.
Right.
But that's someone with a brain that capitalized on it. While other companies were like, no, we're not going to touch TJ no more. Even though I had heat for the first time, real heat. Come on, man.
Sure. What is your what don't you like particularly about intergender wrestling? Do you not like it as a whole, or just for yourself personally?
For myself, I'm the oldest of 10. I have a lot of little sisters.
And you're a fucking monster. Does justice. What are you?
I'm legitimately 6'5". My biggest was like 380. I'm still around like 380 right now. I have a lot of little sisters, and the first time I did one match for Beyond because that was their shtick, and my little sister at the time, watched the video. It was like, why? And again, my name is Troy. Why is little Troy beating up a girl? And I'm like, wow, like that, clicked. I'm like, I can't do this no more because for every girl that's empowered by it, like some people like, oh, I watched a girl beat up a guy and I'm empowered. My sister said, wow, my older brother beats up on women. Nah, I was like, that's not for me, man.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and I understand that. As much as psychology is something that is wishy-washy in wrestling, it's important when it's important, and you can throw it out the door when you want to throw it out the door. You know what I mean? But I feel like for me, the whole intergender thing, the psychology of it, just isn't there. I just feel like it's just not there in a realistic way. I feel like in a lot of cases, the matches that I would bear witness to were just unrealistic. There's a realistic way to do it, and then there's the GIF way to do it, where you're just trying to make GIFs. You know what I mean? Or become a retweet.
I think like when you like kind of stepped away was like I wish I would have like done it or like wrestling stayed that way because like we were changing a little bit, but since then it kind of like just went to this. We're working for the gifts and we're not working for the crowd. It really has become gift wrestling. Okay, what's the coolest 5 to 10 seconds I can do and forget the rest because that'll get me over. And that's kind of like the steady decline of wrestling in general.
Now people can't even go. Like
no.
So now it's more important to exist in the digital realm than in reality because fans can't even come see you. Most shows are Thunderdome type shows.
Yeah, I haven't done anything like that. I've had a couple offers, but again, like I'm wrestling for myself with no fan interaction. I'm good. I'll wait. I can't. It's not for me. I'm not saying it's bad. We definitely need it. Because without wrestling, there's no sport. But
there's no reason to rush it or force it. There's no reason to force it right now. I mean, I think most sports and certainly pro wrestling are being kind of stupid. Just still trying to do this during this time. You know what I mean? I've said that I feel like pro wrestling as a whole would have benefited from disappearing for a year. You know what I mean? And then come back fresh. Wrestlers are rested and fresh. People are anxious to see new storylines, or even if it's the same old shit, they're just happy because it's been gone for a while. And, in the history of WWE, it's never not been on the air. They've never not been producing new content. So, but I have said this to a few people now since, all this has happened. And I know I talked to our buddy Darius Carter about it. I'm sure you watched that interview, but like, I don't know that I know, like you, that I wouldn't want to perform in front of nobody. It's not the same, or certainly not a minimal capacity crowd, half capacity crowd. Definitely not the Thunderdome. I've done ultra violent underground matches in front of nobody, which is absurd. Like I had death matches in front of nobody, thinking that like, oh, this is gonna get me over with Zandig, and I'm gonna be on the DVD and everything else. And it was one of the most horrible experiences of my life because you feel everything you're doing. It's not like the adrenaline is just not there. You feel the glass, you feel the staples, you feel Nick Gage, you feel Black G's. Like,
I personally have never, like, I've done like the hardcore, I've never done the death match. But like I can imagine, like the only hardcore matches I've done were like the blow off matches, like when it's fucking the war games and we're in a cage and we're hitting each other with nonsense, but they're reacting to everything. I can't imagine doing that. Like, I land through a table, nothing, just splinters.
Or just like you hear the glass. You just hear the glass on
cutting
the floor. You. Yeah.
The weed whacker. Like, imagine skin getting taken off. No one there to go like, die. Like, no, I'm just dying for myself.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it earned me some respect, and there's still clips that people share on Instagram to this day of those matches, and it's like, good for me, man, good for me. I guess it's not really fucking helping my bank account, but hey, fuck it, who cares? It was all worth it to be shared on Instagram, fucking 12 years later.
Until someone deems it, flag sensitive material, and then they won't be able to see unless you click a little button. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but for wrestling nowadays, I would be suffering during this. Like I just would not be having a good time. It's just the thing that made me want to wrestle was the pops, and if they're not there, who cares? You know what I mean? Yeah,
like I can't say I did, like I used to do the like Beyond would have the tapings, but that was the ultimate goal of being in front. That was being in front of the crowd. Like, okay, it was like the testing breeding ground to be in front of the crowd. Now it's just do it to do it with no end goal in sight. And that's not for me.
Yeah, and I mean that's the perfect segue into like I guess where you and I got to know each other a little bit better. I mean, I'd say we started to hang out a lot more and see each other a lot more at Beyond tapings and stuff. Certainly when we would when Drew would do them at the CCW school in Jersey.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, how much fun was that? Like, and maybe you'll agree with me here, but I stand firm in my statement that Beyond Wrestling has never been better when it was the studio tapings. Like, don't get me wrong. Drew
it blew up.
Together some amazing live shows. Drew Cordeiro, credit to him, has put together some of the best independent live shows fans could ever ask for. But it's never been better than, or it's never been better for the boys or as a product than when we were just doing the studio tapings.
100%.
Right before that first American run.
I felt like it was a perfect blend because it was a lot of the I guess guys who were overlooked, plus the new crop of properly trained people. Like, I hate saying that, like, oh, my last class was the last class, and we weren't entitled. We were hustling, and we weren't getting on. So we're like, okay, this platform can help us get to these things because you rub elbows with the right people, because it's a guy from ZZW, a guy from Ring of Honor's there, a guy from JP's there, and these kids like me, Dickinson, Jaka, tri-state area, the EYFBO, like all these guys, Carter. We were hungry. We were like, yo, we got to get seen, and we went out there and performed and popped all the boys, which in turn popped the promoters, which got us on things, and our humor and our just like good times during it. You can't replicate, because like it was just, I don't know if we just all had the same silly sense of humor, but it just fucking worked, man. Like I get like it's gonna come up, me and you watching someone take an apron bump and go, ooh, not taking it. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, like, come on, man.
I definitely coined the term and made popular, not taking it.
Not taking it.
And then like it quickly caught on with you. And I forget if anybody else was involved with that, but you and I definitely were always like,
all the time. Yeah, not taking it. Not taking it.
Like elbow, not taking it.
Taking it. Just usually, like the match before I go on, there's some like shooting star head drop driver, but like, not taking that.
Just like, fucking, they would just do the dumbest things, like some sort of weird package fucked up driver thing that's, you know, AR Fox invented. I'm like, nah, I'm all set.
And then I would ask Fox after, like, how'd you take it? I was just high, man. I can't feel a thing. You know what I mean? Like, of course, that's why he's made of rubber. He can take that shit. I'm not taking it.
But yeah, no, it was a special time, I think, for wrestling. Because it was like right before the era that we're in now, where it's almost like it was right before the internet is everything era. You know what I'm saying? Because now, and I hate to say that, because there's a lot of people that are really talented that are getting opportunities, and it's not just because of the internet. People like Eddie Kingston and stuff like that.
Finally,
you know, I mean, you could say that it's because of Twitter or whatever, but no, he's there because he's fantastic.
Yes.
I was going to say something in regards to Beyond. Just it was a different feel performing there, and like you said, it was like we called it, like me and Latin Dragon. Shout out to Latin Dragon,
my man.
We called it "Pop the Boys Wrestling," like, you know what I mean, because like it was just all about popping the boys, and if you could do that, it made you an exceptionally better wrestler. Like to be able to pop your peers and get them to mark out for shit, whether it was a laugh or like legit, like, whoa, that was fucking elite. You know what I mean?
And to like help it. It's not just like when we say pop the boys, like I did my friend's move. It was like, yo, he just like built up to this awesome sequence that I never thought of. Holy shit. I got to give him props for that. It was like that kind of pop the boys, not just like, oh, haha, funny pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it would be like, you know, I was a fan of doing flashy fight sequences because it was kind of like my character was a mob boss, like final boss, you know that. But so like,
thank you for the gimmick, by the way. Thank you for the gimmick, by the way.
Yeah, it's all yours, man. It's all yours. Run with it. Somebody's got to fucking run with that shit. But so like I would do a lot of those fast action movie, like block, duck, somebody flips, this, freeze, like roundhouse, duck, sweep, jump, freeze, like, you know, and sometimes that shit would get the reaction. Like they'd be like, damn, I didn't know he could throw a roundhouse. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking, or
man. Like the obscure, like, okay, that's from this movie, you know, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Were you there the time I had whoever was reffing, he was searching me and he kept finding different weapons in my trench coat? Like, you know, like I had like 3 different weapons in my trench. I think I had a Molotov cocktail in there. They're like, what the fuck were you gonna do with this? You know,
you never know, man. You never blow someone up.
And sometimes you just had to stiff the balls off of somebody, and that was fun too, because that would get like
And now when that happens, they go to the back, complain, or they go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, I got hurt in this match." Yeah, you lost. Duh. Like, stop exposing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying to Darius, like, because I was talking about how he bludgeoned that young lady he just worked. Something Lee. What's her name? Something.
I don't know.
Damn it, I forget. Doesn't matter.
I'll be real. Like usually when I see Carter's an intergender match, I'm like, I can't see him beat up another girl right now. It's not for me. I love you. I love you, Darius. But like, I'm gonna be real with you. When you're in intergender matches, I do not watch anymore. It's like, I know the outcome. I know. I'm not into the smut. I don't need it.
I'm not into the fucking the snuff porn. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Okay.
No, man.
I don't need to watch you execute another woman live on camera. No, but she got all bloodied, and I was just saying how like every match you come back, there should be like a little bit of blood right here. Like, you know what I mean? Like right in here, you should every match for some reason you should have a little bit there. Whether you
or like you got a pain right here for some reason.
Yeah, something that you wanted. One of your bumps was shitty, and like you had that little but you don't ever bump because like you know.
Unless I'm wrestling, I'm wrestling Maff, and Maff's like, "Yeah, do this," and I'm like, "Yeah, Maff, of course. Like, I love you. I'll do whatever you want."
Of course, I'll take the half.
I'll take the half and half. Yeah, no problem. That hurt a lot. All right, Hammer. Wait a minute.
You fucking guys would break the ring if he gave you any kind of German or half. The ring would fall apart.
Oh, the best. All right, he'll do the German, get up, no sell it, half and half. I got to sell that one. No. Then the hammer, kick out at one. I'm like, no, that half and half's going to do me in. That's going to hurt a lot.
I never had the pleasure of working Maff, but I had one run in on him. Like, this is so random, but like Adam Flash was running the show at the arena, and me and two other people, maybe it was Corey Castle, I can't fucking remember, but three of us ran in on Maff, and we were just supposed to take heat, and I knew what I was going to take, and he's like, I'm going to hit this guy with this, and then on you, throw one, I'm going to shoot the half. I'm like, God damn it. So we go to do it, and I need people to understand, like people like Dan Maff, they're something different than people like me. Like, it felt like I didn't have a choice. I was just going, and it was a force, and it was a force that I could not produce. You know, I could lift every day for the rest of my life, and I will not be that strong, is what I'm getting at. Yeah. And it was fucking terrifying, and it hurt a little bit. And like, dude, there's a picture of it, and like I'm completely upside down. Like my feet are coming over my head. And you just don't have a choice. Physics and gravity take over. No. And shout out to Dan Maff for taking care of me on that. But boy, was it scary.
Yeah. Maff is the definition of like, it's gonna look and feel terrifying, but you're gonna be safe the whole time. You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you know, that's kind of always what I've gathered from him. He's never seemed like he's another one of those gentle giant teddy bears backstage. If hopefully I'm not spoiling it for everybody.
And he smells wonderful with his little oils that he does. He always sells the oils to me. Yeah, I don't know if you remember. Jaka always goes, "Oh, you got the Maff oil, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got the Maff oil on me."
Fucking, I was doing a little, deep dive. I was looking at your social media, and I mean, I know your name, but I was during the intro, I was gonna say, and you know, he has MAGA in his name, so you know you can trust him.
And half the audience now hates me. McGallis, yeah, McGallis,
yeah. I was
Troy
gonna
McGallis.
say your stupid fucking name. I was gonna say, how do you pronounce your goddamn name? Because I was like, is it Magalhaes? Is that what it is? Magalhaes, right?
I mean, I can get away with Magalhaes, you know what I mean? But like McGallis is the proper pronunciation. But like I kind of stay away from that in general. I went with my mom's maiden name for my character name because Marconi is easy and still like, oh, it's macaroni. Yeah,
same thing with me. Same thing with me. Sozio is my mom's maiden name.
That's what I stuck
spoiler
with.
Alert, it's not my fucking name, everybody. My name's not so.
No.
Yeah. Sorry. And I'm actually, as much as my persona is abrasive and unlikable, I'm actually a nice guy in real life. Spoiler.
Right?
Spoiler.
If people only knew that were like guys I never met that were burying me, I'm like a really funny dude, man. But you took money out of my pocket, so fuck you, bro.
Yeah, man. But no, like back to the whole Beyond thing. After they started doing the live shows, I was a part of that for a long time, and around 2014, I kind of disappeared from the scene. Well, at least the Beyond Wrestling scene. It wasn't really my choosing. It was kind of shitty because I was having a lot of fun there. I had made a lot of really great friends there.
Yep.
Certainly got closer with you guys, guys like Santana and Ortiz.
Yep.
Definitely got to know them really well. Got to know like Milk Chocolate. I got to travel a bit more with, dare I say, David Starr.
Yeah. Careful.
Got to know him. Shane Strickland. I traveled with him and Jeremy, Latin Dragon, and it was a really good time. So it was unfortunate that it was kind of against my will that I was removed for things that were going on, and we don't need to get into that because it's water under the bridge at this point. But you and Darius Carter went on to do some pretty cool stuff in the Crusade, and kind of probably set a few records as far as like winning streaks and things like that. Did you not?
Yeah. I mean, we were like, I think 10 or 11 in a row, which wrestling usually stuff doesn't count, but like Beyond, they had like your bracket, your record. So like for us to be like 10 in a row was a big thing at Beyond. I'll be real. It was me and Darius pushing the hell and bothering Drew completely, because like Beyond was just like dream match after dream match after dream match. And we said, Drew, you need to start having a storyline, and we could help you with that. We'll be the Crusade for Change, where the faction doesn't want Beyond this way. We want to change it and just give us bodies, let us build up. And he wouldn't do it for the longest time. We were just cannon fodder for a bunch of people. And finally, it's like, all right, I'll give you guys the rub. I'll let you guys get some wins underneath your belt, get some real steam behind you, get some heat. And it worked. And he hated it. I'd be real with you. He hated it. He hated that we proved him wrong.
Right. Yeah. Nobody likes to fucking be wrong. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And we built up. So finally, it was, I think, the War Games thing. And that was finally
4-foot cage.
The cage. I was taller than. I was taller than the cage. But besides that point, but it was like, okay, the heels. We steal our shit from 1980s, bro. 4 Horsemen would win, lose War Games. Okay, next group. You know what I mean? That was the thing. Right. Give us some wins. Let us beat up people. Make your baby faces. Make your DDPs. Your big shining baby face. We'll put them over at the end. Finally, that happened,
and then like dissolve your group. You know what I mean? Like make that the payoff that the Crusade have to dissolve. You know what I mean?
But what I'm getting to is he get all that, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna put you guys on after Samoa Joe and Chris Dickinson, because he's like, I'm gonna give you guys what you want finally, but his exact words were, everyone's gonna go home. And me and Darius looked at each other. We're like, I can't wait till every fucking person stays here and watches that match. So Samoa Joe just got some.
I was just saying, like, not to mention that's like making you follow Patrice O'Neal or something if you're doing stand up. You know what I mean? It's like, here, follow Joey Diaz. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like, so Joe was just signed to NXT at the time too. So it was literally Dickinson, the hottest act in the company, and Samoa Joe, who just got signed to the NXT. They wrestle, and then we were next. The 4-on-4 War Games thing. Not one person left. And I came to the back and I told Drew, I said, fuck you, wrestling. I still know how wrestling works. Storylines work.
Yeah, man.
And it was great.
It's that people want their money's worth too. Like, don't be stupid. Like, I know sometimes people walk out of a movie or whatever, but like as it pertains to a wrestling, to the end, you paid to get in. Why wouldn't you watch a movie? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you just? You've paid for it at that point. Stick around and watch it.
Yeah. But it was
cool.
motivating. It was so motivating too. It's like, all right, he thinks everyone's gonna leave. Let's go out there and kill it, and we did.
Yeah, no, that's fucking sweet. And what I guess what happened after that? what did everyone do after that? Because I don't think I followed it too closely.
We kind of like he had nothing planned for us. So he was like, we built this up, and then he had nothing for us. So it was like, okay, here's another.
I got nothing for you. Yeah,
here's another four guys. Here's another four guys. Here's another four guys. And there's only so much you can do in these 8-man tags.
Yeah.
So the point where I pitched, hey, how about we lose? I leave angrily. I come back, and then like we have a little infighting. Okay, cool. That was the next step. You know, like TJ's mad that they lost. He leaves, comes back, fights Carter or fights Gangone. You know, just so we had something. By the time I left, they had a match with Alpha Pro, the Canadian team of Ethan Page and all them. Supposedly they got stiffed, and then Drew pulled the plug on everybody there. So, yeah, I had no Beyond to come back to when I did my little
yeah. That I mean, I kind of found out that I was out of the picture when I wasn't in the Facebook group anymore. Suddenly,
yeah,
and I messaged Drew, and I'm like, hey bud, what's up? And he said something to the tune of like, yeah, man, this is just till things cool down, you know, cool down, you know. And long story short, I got Matt Hardied, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind like the best way I could put it without explaining the whole story is I got Matt Hardied. I got Matt Hardied at Beyond Wrestling. However, I never got invited back to come have the second half of a successful career the way Matt Hardy did. That's the only fucking difference.
Yeah.
But again, all that shit's water under the bridge, and I hate that I'm even bringing it up.
Yeah.
But I think Beyond is a great company. I think Drew Cordeiro was way ahead of the game. With getting shit on YouTube, giving things away for free, just being a content creator. Like, you know, you could say what you want about the guy. Does he remind me of Mojo from X-Men? Yes. Yes, he does. Like, I don't know what, does he laugh like, you know, like, yeah, he looks and sounds like Mojo from X-Men, but he's a good guy, and he did some really good stuff in wrestling.
He's got a nice little cheese truck business going on, so good for him.
He makes a hell of a fucking grilled cheese. And he can book a wrestling show.
This is true. And he talks like this every once in a while.
Come on, you can see all the monitors behind him, all the different size monitors and shit. I can see it. But, So what? Prior to, I mean, I'm sure you did prior to March, but you know, since everything got crazy this year, have you wrestled anywhere at all? Have you been active anywhere?
I took a big sabbatical when the Rona happened. My last
not booked, kid.
AKA not booked. I was happy. I built a little storyline in the Bronx because like I'm writing for a company, BWF in the Bronx. We packed the house out surprisingly in March, like 300 people. I'm like, holy shit, this is great. Even though it was kind of the height of this, should we go outside? Should we not go outside? And we still had 300 fans, which was good for them. And then from there, I haven't done anything. I took a lot of time off for personal reasons. Like my real life stuff was affecting me. But like since September, back in the gym, back in the ring, training a little bit. No shows. I'm waiting for fans to come back. I was going to like retire, even though you don't retire wrestling, walk away. But like I still want to do this. I want to come back.
I like to say I quit.
Yeah. I quit for a while. I had a lot of people yell at me that I quit. I want to come back so I can do matches with like these guys that call a lot and be like, yeah, we're doing it, and then not do it. Just so I just want to see that because like you would know what to do. You would know what to do in the match. You're like, all right, but they would. I can't wait for that first look of like, oh my God, he's not agreeing to what we agreed upon. What do I do now? Just to pop myself and then still give a good match out of it. Or like when the promoter goes, yeah, put over the midget. All right, I'll put over the midget, but I'm gonna do it my way. Yeah. You know, beat him up, and then count out. Oh, you did? I put him over. I put him over.
What you said. What are you going to do? Yeah,
he'll cry on the message boards. That's still a thing.
Yeah. Under a fucking alias, you know what I mean? Under some nerd ass alias. I definitely did that when I was green. I probably had a fake name on the message board, like putting myself over. Like I'm sure I did that at least once. And we're talking 2002 and 3, folks. Hey, I'm gonna die soon. I'm up there, kids.
Stop.
Nah, dude. People like me are fucking doomed to live here forever, dude. Don't worry. I'm gonna live forever. I'm the Ra's al Ghul of fucking podcasting and pro wrestling.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So fuck you, everybody that's wishing death on me. Not that there's anybody doing that, but so when do you think you would particularly feel comfortable getting back out there?
Well, I'm currently I got one booking advertised in March in New Jersey. They're allowed to have 35% of their fans, so at least there's fans there, and 35% is still a high number for this one building.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable doing it,
Sure.
and I'm wrestling a guy that I feel comfortable with in Gangone, and another wrestler who has the worst name ever. I hope he's watching. I've been yelling at him. He trains with me. His name is Mantis. He's a phenomenal worker. Shitty name, Mantis.
There's already been a Mantis.
And his shoot name, ready for his shoot name, Lavelle Dunn. His shoot name is a perfect gimmick name. And he's like AR Fox.
Lavelle. You have to run with Lavelle.
If because I know if you have been watching, he's like an AR Fox build, and he can bump and he can talk a little bit. Like not like to like, you know, for like today's standards, he can talk.
Sure, right.
But his name is Mantis.
Fucking Mantis.
Like,
so is it a three-way? You said
three-way. Yeah. So I don't have to bump that. I don't have to bump that much. I'm wrestling a guy I want to like elevate eventually. And Mantis, horrible name. I hope you change your name because of this.
Is he about as tall as Gangone or a little taller?
He's 6'1" maybe.
Okay,
so like he if he had a name would be like Drew Court. Oh my God, look at him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I love him. You know exactly what I mean.
Oh my God.
And Gangone. So like it's two workers that are really good, make me look good. I'm like, all right, I'll come back to that. I'll do that.
Yeah. Now Gangone's definitely he's awesome as well. He's a good guy. Another guy that I got to know, probably kind of work and Excite with you guys. Like, we should definitely mention Excite Wrestling because probably from 2012 till I retired, that was like one of my main every month, or at least every month that they ran, I was always booked. Joe Gacy, Greg Excellent, my Alex Payne, Alexander James. Like that was usually some concoction of our car coming from our area. But that was always fucking fun too. That place, and shout out to Johnny Moose for certainly for booking us, and always kind of giving Joe Gacy and our clique the ball to run with. And it was just a ton of fun there.
He gave the Crusade like a last, like when Beyond kind of dropped the ball. He gave us a run there too, and I really dug it. And he let us play. He gave us a playground to do it. It was thank you, Johnny. Yeah.
But I guess what I was saying was, I got to know Gangone there, and even got to be in the Crusade for a little while. We kind of told this story where I was with Joe, and then I turned on Joe for the Crusade, and right as I retired, we did the old let's turn him back babyface, and then have they'll get. I guess we got one more shine on you guys, right? Didn't Joe and I beat you and Gangone in a tag match or something like that? Or
yes.
It was like
I think that was
some concoction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got on your way out, you put the guy up. You returned. You beat up me and Gangone. It was dope.
Yeah, and I mean, and now I'm notoriously stiff. Now, how was it working me? Well, it was all right.
The worst. You beat me up. You kicked me in the side of the head. I have the mark still over here. It lumped up.
I definitely tried to take Stockade's head off because I had the opportunity to Yakuza kick him during that show, and I was like, I'm taking his fucking head off.
Because you know what? He deserved it. He deserved it, probably.
He doesn't stop with this. He doesn't fucking stop. Fuck you, Joe. I know you're watching. Nah, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding. We love you, even though you're a jerk off.
You are.
Hang on, what do we got here? We got some comments. Let's see what John Hamilton. I'm not going to read that, but you can.
Oh, we can't say that word.
Tall, really tall, can throw a football like a bullet. Is that true? Can you really?
Yeah. So again, I'm probably gonna get like a bunch of people to hate me now. That's my man Blackie Chan. Blackie Chan. Blackie Chan was John. There's a great. We were friends in high school in gym class. We would play football, and like he'd be the only guy I trust throwing the football to because everyone else would drop it because I threw it too fast. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he brought that up. My man John, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, you got a little bit of that extra strength. You know what I'm saying? You're a little bit touched.
I was always 6'5" at that point. Yes, I'm drinking wine, of course. It's good for my heart, you know, and plus it's delicious.
Ooh, number one in our hearts. How cute! Did you see our boy Danny Only said screw you, Mark?
Oh, damn you, Danny Only. I see he's coming back. He came back to wrestling, or he's coming back to wrestling. You know, hopefully it is successful. Yeah,
he's looking good, man. He's getting in shape. I see him doing a lot. Good for you, man. Because I wish I had half that drive right about now. It's I do not. I tell you what, being retired is awesome.
I tell you, you know, I mean, people that are in the know. My personal problems aside, in like the IRL, you know, in real life, but like being away from wrestling, this kind of last couple of months have been glorious. To not have to worry about like stupid wrestling bubble drama was fantastic. But I love wrestling, man. I want to be able to turn a crowd with my acting and my wrestling. And I don't know, there's a body. I don't know what's the proper. Come on, you were always eloquent with the words.
Mannerisms and
yeah, like boom, and looked at the crowd, and I just do the stare, and then like they boo me. Like
you want to be able to manipulate them, and
I want to be able to manipulate a crowd. I missed that. I missed that was the thing I missed.
Yeah, for sure. Like that interaction, and it's definitely an energy and a spirit in the air when that's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even before ever taking my first bumps, like I remember going to like a packed ECW arena for combat zone wrestling, and it was like, you know, people were seething. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't wait to see that action, that crazy, intense, fucking shit. But it's so much fun to be out there and just get that reaction. And like I said, I'm sort of at a loss for words for it as well. But like manipulate them with just the most subtle movements, subtle looks. A move followed by a little bit of maybe mouth work or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes flash him a look even, you know, it's so much fun.
For as psychotic as he was, I mean, I got to thank Mike Quackenbush for like stuff like that, because he put me, a very emotional, charismatic dude. I have like good facial expression. He put me in a mask, and I had to learn how to work and in the mask, and I had to use my body to elicit the emotion. And my moves.
Have that here, as a matter of fact. I have that on my list of things that I was going to possibly ask you was how would you your thoughts on working for Mike Quackenbush? I worked as a greenhorn, and then later on as well, you know.
I gotta thank Mike for opening up the way I call matches. I call my matches kind of how he would preach it, the acts, the act 1, act 2, act 3. As I'm a big movie guy, and I was like, all right, boom, I could tell my story in a movie sense instead of shine, cut off. You know, I like the act 1, act 2, act 3.
Right.
Yeah. I liked his way of eliciting emotions, but I also knew, because I'm from New York, I knew when he was full of shit, and I knew when he was having people suck on the Kool-Aid. And he would hate that guys like me, Jaka, even Kingston, yourself. We didn't suck the Kool-Aid. We knew you were full of shit. We knew you were full of shit, but like you gave us a good platform. We were
body guys that he was paying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know,
we were accomplishing the task. We weren't coming for free. You know what I mean? But we did his bidding. You know.
The way I tell like the young guys who come to train now before this pandemic happened, Quackenbush was great because he opened up my mind to calling it. But there was a guy there, and if he watches, or I know you know him, Hallowicked. Bob. Bob is probably the best worker I've seen. But I wish he didn't suck the Kool-Aid so much, because he would be everywhere. Dude was so good.
I remember after I stepped away, like in recent years, in the last 4 or 5 years, probably even before that. He got in real good shape too. Like, he always used to kind of be not heavy by any means, but he just wasn't like trim. And then he trimmed down. Oh man. Yeah. Like, so he started even looking better, but that kid, yeah, we worked together. I still feel compelled to have a little bit of kayfabe, but we were a tag team together in Chikara years ago, and so
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. But, so I got to wrestle him a bunch and work with him a bunch, and boy, is he smart and talented, and again, one of the best luchadors. Period.
Yes.
Period.
I swear, I always say, like, people ask in podcasts sometimes, like, who are the coming guests? I always drop your name because you have one of the best minds. Gangone has a great mind. I said the Hallowicked would have been like on TV if he didn't suck Mike Quackenbush's Kool-Aid for so long, and
Possibly.
like took more opportunities elsewhere.
He didn't have the best look here, but like,
but
his
it would have worked. Would have worked.
Yeah, it was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hood, there's a bit to be desired. A little, much like, and I don't care who the fuck hears this, much like many of the people at Chikara, certainly during the early days, had a very nerdy look. It was a bunch of fucking nerds. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of athletic nerds. Call it what you want to call it. It's a bunch of
call a spade a spade.
Yeah, it's comic book nerds that wanted to play wrestler. But guess what? Again, Mike and Chikara, it's another one of those things where you can dog them. You can say this.
They were so successful.
Very successful and very smart, just ahead of the game. Mike created something from the ground up and has built a global fan base, and there's no arguing with that, and he's put on some of the most entertaining indie shows of all time.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is.
I had a ball with them. I hated my gimmick there. I'll be real. I hated it. I thought I was going to do my Schwarzenegger thing there, and he like marked out for that so much and then he put me in a mask and made me not talk. I'm like, I'm good at talking. Let me talk.
Yeah, I remember. I want to talk about the time Chris almost died in our tag match. Do you remember that? But I was just going to say, I wish I would have had a chance to perform as Sozio there. I never.
Yes.
In my early career, I was Niles Young, and I was in a couple of the Young Lions Cups and things like that. I was Lance Steele #2. Spoiler. So when Lance Steele went back in time to get a younger version of himself to tag with, that was me, and I was the better Lance Steele. Let's be fucking serious. I was the better Lance Steele. So
I agree.
So we'll say, when did we start performing at Wrestling is Fun? 2012, 13-ish.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
Mike invited me back after Chikara disappeared and they did the old Sopranos ending to their fucking company for a little while, and whatever that was. Mike started to do.
There was a legal reason behind that, but we're not going to go there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there was. He did enough hot water legally, so we're going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
So Mike Quackenbush started to do this Wrestling Is divisions of his company. Wrestling is fun. Wrestling is art. Wrestling is cool. Wrestling is respect. Wasn't there something?
Wrestling is respect was supposed to be Beyond's like little thing.
Like Ring of Honors, or was it?
Yeah, Ring of Honor. The Chicago.
Art. I think Art was up in New England or whatever. Like, wherever he was getting people to drive for free.
That's when I got brought in, around the Wrestling Is era.
Right. So Mike invited me back to perform as Lance Steele along with Chris, Jolly Roger, Chris McGuckin, aka Jigsaw's little brother. So we reunited as Night Eye for the Pirate Guy. And if you don't think that's the greatest gimmick of all time, you can just go fuck yourself.
Correct.
Fuck yourself right in the ass. So I know that at some point, I don't remember where, but we ended up working you and Jaka in a match. And Jaka popped my fucking eardrum with a forearm. No, with a slap. I hung my head out of the ring.
Yeah.
And one of those from the floor and popped my fucking. So, my hearing was fucked for a few weeks. Thanks. Shout out to Jaka. No, it's all good. He's a good guy. I love him. And then now we're getting to the good part here. Chris goes to do a tope, right? It's just a tope through the second, right? And what he fucking needles down like a lawn dart into the fucking hardwood floor of this that we're in, no pads. You guys don't catch him because who knows why? Who knows? Because you said fuck him.
I think he when he I forget he like kind of undershot, or like maybe we were too far back.
His feet got caught. So
maybe his feet get caught and he just goes boom.
And I go running over to him and I'm like, I'm gonna take the heat. I'm gonna slide in. I'm gonna take the heat because I think he was like supposed to get thrown back in and take the heat or something.
Yeah, he was just done.
Fuck! I gotta take the heat now. I was mad. It's like I gotta take the heat now.
But we did simple heat. It's like I know you're like I gotta take this. I'm not taking it. Like we know it's wrestling is. Don't worry about it.
I know. We know not taking it. We know.
Yeah.
Right. We know your shtick. But shout out to Chris. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I know he's doing his thing, living his life. Yep. But he was, one of my best tag partners, one of the most fun people to work with, and we had some fun, good chemistry.
It was definitely always good times. I just hate I hated the gimmick. I was stuck with. I hated it. Like I was pitched.
Let's describe that for anybody that doesn't know.
No, so like when he handed me a pamphlet. He handed me a pamphlet, an email pamphlet that had this backstory and a drawing. And he goes, I read the whole fucking thing. And he goes, picture Snow and Kane and put it together. I said, what? He goes, yeah. You know how he had the Snow and like Kane, the wrestler, and put them together. Like imagine if Kane was able to control Snow. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me, dude?
Was that what your character could do?
I supposedly was able to like, boom, Snow, avalanche, water spirit. This is what I was.
And I mean, you should have done that in a match at some point.
Imagine, boom, Snow attack. You know what I mean?
I mean, fuck. Chuck Taylor had that stupid grenade thing he used to do. Like, why couldn't
and it could have worked. Imagine, boom, you're frozen. I'm Sub-Zero.
Don't get me wrong, that grenade thing. I saw a clip somebody shared of that recently where everybody in the ring fucking fell down. Like the ref or Bryce takes a bump, everybody on that apron falls down. I mean, again, we were talking about callback to the psychology thing that I was talking about earlier. That's one of the times where it's like, okay, we can do this, but it can't be all the time. You know what I mean? It has to be once in a while we pull that kind of shit out. And it's like, ha, 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 that's really hilarious. All right.
It gets old. It'll get old if you do it every time. But like
that was Chikara's thing too. That was Chikara's thing.
Finally, but like after like 6 months, I just started cutting promos in the mask during the show. And he's like, you know what? I didn't know you can talk. And I went to him. I'm like, you hired me because I did the Arnold accent. That's right. What do you mean that's right? You know, because you know the kind of like he's so like, I'm in this full white devil horned mask and just going, hello, good to meet you. I'm gonna get the boulder and throw it in the air, like and I was so upset with the character. I hated it. I was like, I'm in all white. You could see all my beginnings. My tattoo is showing, so you know I'm TJ. Like he didn't. I remember one time. I know I'm going off on tangents. I remember he walked in the locker. He goes in the locker. He goes, you got a tattoo? I go, Mike. I've had this for like 4 years. Ooh, that's a problem. Can we cover it? I go, Mike. They know who I am. No. They don't know you're TJ Marconi. I'm like, Mike. It's like all over your message boards. I get TJ chants. They know it's me, dude. There's not many 6'5" white professional wrestlers in the Northeast.
Yeah, and you have a very distinct build as well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like jacked. I'm just a big fuck. You know what I mean? Like Tyson with Djokovic. He's just a massive fuck. You know what I mean?
I hear Tyson saying,
you know what I mean?
Massive.
He's just too much at times. You know what I mean? So like I remember like him going, you got to cover up your tattoo. He kind of dropped that. He goes, all right, don't worry about it. And then when he let me talk, then I started having fun with it. I was like finally able to like just be stupid with that crowd. I'd be, you in the front row, I don't care. I'm going to blow up your house. You know what I mean? I couldn't, because you can't curse. You can't tell them you're stupid. You got to like be very PG G with them, you know? So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always a good time. Like you said, I've probably been in Mike's good graces at times, and you know, there's other times where he's just like, fuck, he's here. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Like we said, if you kind of beat to your own drum with him, he's not. If you're not drinking the Kool-Aid, you're not his favorite person. You know,
no,
or unless you're making him a lot of money, but that's pretty much every promoter, right?
I mean, pretty much. So, well, now half of the promoters are fans now, so you got to treat them like fans,
right? As we did fucking say. So I guess in 2020 now, or I'm sorry, 2021. I can't even remember to write the shit, let alone say it. What are the main goals you got? And I mean, I guess it all depends on whether or not things open back up and wrestling picks back up. What are your main goals for this year? How much longer do you really think you want to do this?
Real life goals. I've already worked on mental health, which was dope. I used to not be a believer of it. Like I used to think it was all bullshit. Like I'm not gonna lie. I was think, I was an Italian kid from Brooklyn. We were told to, it is what it is. Mentally, I've learned that this stuff is real, and I'm happy that I'm mentally healthier now. So like just working on that for 2021. Hopefully wrestling gets back up so I can do this like act 2 of my wrestling career. And if I'm not somewhere by the year's end, I'm like, it was supposed to be 2020, but COVID. If I'm not somewhere like permanent in 2021, I want to step back and do more. I enjoy the writing aspect and having people. I don't want to say like, oh, I want to be a booker or an agent. No, I like taking people that are underutilized, like the kid Mantis that I'm going to keep burying. He watches and changes his name.
Change your name, Mantis.
And I'll throw a couple kids out there. BX Strong, Johnny Santos, a couple kids that are in the New York area that don't get used. I like writing for them because I wish I had someone back then, like when I was coming up, to write for me. Like, yo, do this during your match. Have this as your storyline. I had so much fun doing that. BWF gave me, the Bronx Wrestling Federation gave me the book about 2 years ago, about 18 months ago. And I enjoyed like writing storylines. Like I really liked, okay, this kid's got this kid's got that tag team's got this. I like that so much. So if by the end of the year, if I'm not like somewhere signed or, I want to step back and I want to help the next crop of people because I don't see a lot of people like my age doing that right now.
Yeah, that's awesome that you would still want to, I guess, be involved. And you know what? I think, it's certainly big of you to want to do something like that and be able to put your own pride aside and need for the spotlight to help others reach their goals. You know what I mean? And it is fun to sort of just sit back and criticize. I know I've had a lot of fun doing that because and it's also just a lot of fun to not have to deal with the pressure of performing. Because like I hate to belittle or undermine something like PTSD, but like I feel like I try to explain this to people sometimes that I have a little bit of like PTSD from performing because
it's 100% true.
Yeah, and because it's not just like the nerves of having to do it, the pressure of having to do it, and then for me it was always like the pressure of knowing that like I could get really hurt, and that also it was gonna hurt. Like it always hurt. Wrestling always hurt. You just got used to it, and a lot of like the bracing for impact, a lot of the blows to the head. I mean, like I was at a wedding reception back in October, and off in the distance. I heard what sounded identical to if you've been in the back and you hear somebody that's performing get hit with a chair. You know what that sounds like, right? You hear you hear that. and you hear the metal
Yeah.
doosh, like
Yep.
it makes a specific echo muffled sound. It's like it's out there, but you could hear it in the back. And for me, it kind of triggered like this. All right, maybe I'm on next. It put me back in the on deck circle.
Does it give sense? Yeah, because I don't know, like maybe it was just me. Like if I would hear that, like I get like this little tingle right here, the muscle in the neck. That I'm like, all right, take it. You know what I mean?
Or like the sting on your back, like when you would get one on the back, like fucking fuck. Yeah, but like honestly, it wasn't even about taking it because I'm not taking it. It was just the sound of it. It put me back in like a backstage setting because like I was like, oh, am I backstage right now? Do I have to get ready to go out there?
I forgot my whole match.
I forget everything. We got to call it out there. We got to call it out there. But like, I forget exactly why I was going down that rabbit hole. But I was just talking about having like PTSD from wrestling, really.
Bro, I totally agree with that kind of like a statement because like people don't realize when you go out there, not only are you have to protect yourself, your number one job is to protect your opponent. So like you have someone else's life in your hands, like especially me, where I have to do like these big power moves. Like God forbid I overthrow someone, they land wrong, and I'm responsible for it. Like, you know, it's like a stress you can't describe. You know what I mean? Me being back, like I'm not like I'm looking forward to my match in March. But like, I'm not looking forward to like, okay, I have to throw my really good friend Gangone like to wood and canvas, and hopefully he doesn't hurt himself. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely like a PTSD. Like, and I hope I bump right, which I don't bump, but I hope I don't hurt myself.
I hope in the 2 bumps that I take in this match that I don't fucking hurt myself. But no, I mean. In the last couple of years, I've gotten into comedy a little bit, not performing, but just listening to a lot of comedians' podcasts, and obviously hear what they say about performing, putting sets together, bombing, and like, you know, and the parallels are crazy between stand-up comedy and pro wrestling. It's like even down to the timing of a set, you know, like you have a 10 or a 15-minute set. It's
and then the light goes on.
Ride. And instead of the moves, you're getting jokes, and then you have a closer, which is your finish. You know what I mean? Yep. And sometimes comedians eat shit, and sometimes wrestlers go out there and eat shit. But there's like a little added element of it, of like a sting when you're physically exhausted, it hurts, and your jokes aren't landing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like my jokes aren't landing, and I'm gonna need ice. Like, you know what I mean?
I twisted my ankle because my boots were too tight. My back hurts, and I had a shitty match. Fuck. And my friend is hurt right now.
Yeah, man. But you know, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. You know, we usually
I'm here, man.
I was gonna say that, you know, I usually cap these at around an hour, but before we get out of here, let's put for your socials, and then we'll have some closing words.
Everything is kind of branded TJ Marconi, Marconi, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have Snapchat for, I think Snapchat's the devil.
Too old.
So just those 2. Twitter, I'd be real with you, I haven't used Twitter because it's a fucking cesspool. When I start wrestling more, I'm gonna have to use it. But I mean, Twitter, same thing, TJ Marconi. So like, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and then because of acting, I had 2 acting roles, 2018, 2019. So IMDb, TJ Marconi. Like I kind of want to get to that. That's like, you know, like wrestling's not going to last forever, so I want to act. Yeah,
less bumps, and it's, you know, a lot of more glitz and glamour there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I was the Irishman. My whole thing in the Irishman, I walked down a block for 40 times. It was great. And I got the same payday I would at like 40 fucking times, man. I don't know if you've seen the movie.
Did you make the film? Did you?
But I mean, do you see the film?
No, I haven't. That's why.
So the people that watched it
for you.
It was a long fucking movie. Joe Gallo gets killed in the Italian restaurant, and he falls out of the restaurant. I'm walking down the block with another extra, and we had to do that 40 fucking times.
Wow. And is that like when Maniscalco gets killed? Is that
yes, when Maniscalco gets killed. I mean, which he's dope. He's awesome, by the way.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure he's great.
5'2", No, he's like,
is he little? I bet you he is
he's a little fucker. He's a little fucker.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He looks tiny.
But
he looks
he's super cool dude, man. Super cool.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that part now because like
it's like
but I've seen
the other side of the street where it's like foggy. You see bodies. That's me.
I'm gonna use that for the promotion for the show. Like I'll just put that.
And then I'm gonna drop this one too. And then the Joker. I'm in 2 scenes in the Joker.
You're a big fucking deal, dude. You're a big deal.
No, you seen that one?
I have, yeah, definitely.
All right,
seen that
when he's running away from the cops in the train, the biggest fucker with the Joker mask is me.
Nice.
Which sucked. Filming that sucked. Like we were in that.
Were you in there for fucking ever?
People were peeing themselves because we couldn't leave, so people would just pee themselves. I'm like, what kind of sick freak? Yeah, what kind of sick freak are you peeing yourself?
Piss your pants. I would have pissed.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pee your pants, you know. I'm in that scene.
First. Yeah, fuck them.
I'm in, which sucked because like they made me gel my hair all the way back because they didn't want any hair falling in front of the mask. Right. So like I felt so bald. It was terrible. And then when he's sneaking into the theater, which was out in Jersey City, they filmed it. When he's going in to get Thomas Wayne to talk to him, I'm in that like mob that's like, down with the Thomas Wayne. You know what I mean? Okay.
But
it's cool, man. Like $180, 8 hours. You know, I can't beat that, man.
Yeah, dude. And not just that, it's a really cool experience that you get to talk about and say, I was a part of that. You know, that fucking award-winning film. Yeah, I know Joaquin. Like, I know Joaquin.
Yeah,
I call him.
I need one more film so I can get like into the guild, and then I can try to get more work. It's like fuck, who wants to keep bumping and not get paid a lot of money for it? Fuck it, you know.
Yeah, and I mean when they have you bump in those movies, they probably makes somebody come in and do it. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm that somebody. Like,
like I'll be. You used to wrestle. You can do this.
Yeah, can you fall down? There's like a lot of like boxes and foam. Can you fall on that real quick? Wait, foam?
It's like, hang on. Tuck your chin.
Are you okay? Yeah. You do it. Are you okay? Yeah, this is nothing.
Yeah, man.
You got some barbed wire and glass?
Yeah, that's right up my fucking alley. No, I was gonna say, like, I definitely wish you the best of luck this year with with wrestling, with life.
Thank you.
I know you said you're getting your head on straight and shit like that. I know what that's like, man. It's definitely been a struggle this year because it's been a really weird fucking year, you know.
Yeah.
You would think being home all the time would be cool, but kind of makes you go a little fucking crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I just wanted to say thanks for doing the show. And you know, before we get out of here, do you have any other closing words? Anything else you'd like to leave the people with? It could be about anything.
I mean,
other than how much you love Donald Trump, obviously.
But I mean, I want to talk about like something I had to learn. Like for about 4 years, I talked to someone. It's great. They said like you don't have to go 1,000,000 miles per hour to win the race. So like I've been trying to tell that to everyone I know. It's like they think I've been going 1,000 miles per hour for the past like 4 or 5 years. And the fact that I slowed down a little bit and opened up my mind, the piano's not over my head anymore, and I'm happy about that. So like anyone that's like feels like there's a piano over their head or like it's, you know, the world we're in is too crazy right now, the best thing is to take your foot off the gas and like let like the bullshit go in front of you and then just like be in the moment you're at and let it rock. Like I think that's the best thing I can start telling people. Like even like you know, I don't want to say I'm a trainer, but like my students, the younger guys that like go to the Bronx, like in the Jersey, New York area, like don't worry about like I'm not on TV right now. Like, yeah, don't worry about going 1,000 miles per hour. Be in your moment that you are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's a hard thing for certainly a lot of young guys to understand, but no, that's super cool, man. And it's just something that comes with age. It comes the wisdom to understand that concept, you know?
Yeah.
But that's it for us, folks. As always, thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good time. And if not, you can go fuck yourself.
Cheers.